Hi, I'm Hazel, and today I am taking a look at what it is like to run old raids on the Shadowlands Alpha. This is an issue that is on at least 4 people's minds, potentially more than that, but I can personally account for at least 4. The reason for the concern is that there is a level squish in Shadowlands. Your level 120 characters are getting squished down to 50. On top of that, there is also an item level squish that is going into place. Your Heroic Ny'alotha gear, which was formerly item level 460, is now item level 115. For today's testing, I'm using a level 57 template mage. She is item level 120, which would put her mildly ahead of a currently heroic geared Ny'alotha raider. It's not a perfect comparison, she is also 7 levels up, but she should in theory be a little bit better than your everyday WoW character today. Keep in mind as you go that at level 60, especially in some endgame gear, you should be substantially better than this. Let's kick things off by taking a look at Icecrown Citadel in Wrath on heroic difficulty. First thing, it's got a visual update, of course the staging area of that Shadowlands cinematic, so cool new skybox outside. Once you get inside the raid, there are no major issues here. Your mobs are going to be level 30, and at my level 57, I am finding my arcane explosion is one-shotting trash, and bosses are easily cleared with a few hits. Another handicap of this character that I'm running is that I have a minimal idea of how to play a mage, and if you actually know what you're doing on your class, or heaven forbid have some gear or trinkets, you'll be even better. Even so, looking at these results, I can say that your invincible farm is safe. Based on this, I think that we can safely assume that Classic and Burning Crusade raids should be pretty easy also. Stepping up a little bit, let's take a look at Firelands in Cataclysm, also on heroic difficulty. These trash mobs are level 35, so bumped up a little bit since ICC. Things still seem just fine. The trash is still pretty much one-shottable. I will say the bosses take a few hits to die, but I imagine at level 60 on a better character that won't even be an issue either. Stepping up a little bit more, we can take a look at Hellfire Citadel in Warlords of Draenor on Mythic difficulty. So this is a raid that currently on live helps to have a little bit of item level for. If you walk into this raid on a very, very fresh 120 today in BFA, you're going to be able to do it, but you might feel like you're swimming through tar for a few of these bosses, so a more relevant comparison. The trash is still very easy, but I will say the bosses feel quite a bit meatier over the Cataclysm raid. This is still perfectly doable, and again, should be much smoother at level 60. One consistent theme that I am noticing, one thing that does need fixing, is Legacy Loot Mode is currently just not working. It does not appear to be active. By normal rules, Legacy Loot usually requires your character to be 11 levels above the content's intended level in order for it to activate. And even with the squish, that should be active here, and it is definitely not. I have bug reported this, and I'm confident that that will get fixed. I'll also say that no matter what level the Legion content ends up being scaled to, it already has Legacy Loot Mode on live. That's something that they turned on a little bit early, so I don't really see a world where they turn it off, and I would expect to see Legacy Loot Mode for BFA, not in Shadowlands, but in the expansion following. Even if scaling makes it break the 11 levels rule, I imagine that they would adjust the rule if they needed to. Next, I wanted to test some Legion content. I attempted to zone into Nighthold, I tried Emerald Nightmare, I tried the Karazhan Dungeon, and Legion content currently on Alpha is unavailable to test, won't let you in. So that could mean all kinds of things, but in my heart, it's because they're getting the tuning right for situations like this. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds nice. I also really wanted to take a look at both how BFA dungeons feel and whether or not we'll be able to solo island expeditions. Unfortunately, the Borealis portal in Stormwind just does not work on Alpha for me. I will have to look into this at a later date. They haven't said one way or another whether or not we're going to be able to solo islands. I am sincerely hoping and crossing all of my fingers that they will let us solo Q4 and clear island expeditions in order to finish farming those cosmetics. While this is the first level squish that's ever come to WoW, it's not the first time that they've done an item level squish, so we have been here before. This type of tuning to adjust the pace of old content on max level players tends to happen later down the road in expansion development, so even if you feel like this is not tuned correctly, there is still plenty of time to fix that, and they have continually maintained over the years that they are never trying to take away your old raid farms when they change stuff like this. That has never been their goal so far, and I have faith that that will still be true, that they're not trying to ruin my transmog and mount farms. They're just squishing some numbers, and even if they break things, they'll fix them. I will say that it's significantly better already than the initial tuning that we saw after the last squish, so maybe they're doing it early this time. I am personally, as a chronic old content farmer, not too worried about it. So that's where it's at now. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.